Thanks for tuning back in. We're going to look at the 12 projects of Codemas again. We finished day 2 yesterday, and this is what our breadboard currently looks like. We've got a couple of jumpers, the green, amber, and red LEDs, a couple of resistors. Let's go ahead and open up day 3, see what we got. So in day 3, oh, hey, look, we got another little breadboard. So it looks like we have another breadboard, some more jumpers, like quite a few more jumpers. And I think those are buttons. So we'll get the jumpers out. Put that off to the side. So yeah, we've got 4 buttons and a lot more jumpers. So let's go look at what we're supposed to do today with all this, and we'll move back over to the desk. Alright, let's get right into it. The 12 Projects of Codemas Daily Guide. We'll look at day 3. Bashing buttons is what this one's called. And so mine already had these caps on the buttons, so that's cool. But it's got 3 tall tactile buttons and 7 male-to-male jumper cables. Again, I'm not going to go over all of this stuff, so let's construct the circuit. So interesting. So on the breadboard, on the mini breadboard, we are going to put in the buttons. Just let me make that a little smaller so we can see them together, just like we see here. Okay, we got those buttons put on there. That's a little more difficult than I was kind of happy with, but hey, it worked. Okay, so let's get each button wired to this power terminal. I don't know why each of these is having such a hard time to plug into these breadboards. I'm going to go ahead and get all 3 of these plugged in off camera just because I'm having such trouble with them. Okay, we got those buttons all plugged in off camera. Now let's get them all into this power rail. Now that we've got those buttons plugged in, we are going to take and jump that power rail over to the second one under the ground we already had plugged in, which I don't see the pinout currently on the top of the Pi 0, and I don't see a call out here. Okay, but let's finish getting these all wired up. So that was that. Our circuit from yesterday is going to stay the same, but now we have 3 more wires. We're going to go from the buttons. This first button is going to go to the 4th one up. This middle button is going to go to 2 above the 13. And the 3rd button is going to go fifth one down. So we got it all wired together now. Now let's go just go straight to their main, or their, so in this one we're learning else if statements. So let's do multiple button inputs. So we're just going to start with this code. And we're just going to paste this into Thani. And let's kind of look through it real quick. So from this code, we can, it's going to kind of tell us what it's talking about. So we have our imports, same as last time. Now we're setting up our buttons. So button 1 is on pin 13. It's an input. We're using it as an input, and it's pull down. Button 2 is pin 8, input, pull down. Button 3, input, pull down. And then while true is a forever loop, like we talked about in the day 1. So it's going to give a short delay, and then if button 1 is pressed, then it just says button 1 is pressed. Same thing below. So let's go ahead and run this. So you can hold down multiple buttons and it'll run them all. But 1, 3, 2, 1, 2, 2, 1, 2, 3. Okay. So let's look at the next set of code. We're not going to copy this into Thani, we're just going to kind of look at this code. So let's make this full screen again. And let's bring up the size a little bit so it might be easier for y'all to read. So again, it's the same as we just went through, the same forever loop, short delay. So if button 1 is pressed, then print button 2. Else if button 2 is pressed, print button 2 is pressed, and else if. So instead of doing 3 if statements, we're making them all one statement. So it's just one call out. So if, else if, else if. And then we're going to go, it's taking it just a little bit further. So we have an if, else if, and then it needs to have one more else if in it. Anyway, as an if, an else if for button 2, it needs another else if for button 3, and then else, it would reply no buttons are pressed. So now let's go ahead and copy. We'll copy this one because it does start using the LEDs. So we're going to paste it into Thani, and let's look at it real quick. So this is all the same, but instead of just calling out the buttons, we're also calling out the LEDs. And then it's going to be while true, loop forever, short delay. If button 1 is pressed, oh wait, interesting. So this one's looking for button 1 and button 2 being pressed together. and it will return green. Else if button 1 by itself is pressed, it will return amber. It keeps the red LED off. And else if no buttons are being pressed, it returns red and turns off both LEDs. So let's take a look at what this one looks like. So if we press button 1, amber comes on. We release and it goes to red. Button 1 and 2 together turns green, release and go to red. 2 by itself, so 2 by itself does nothing. It's just 1, 1 and 2, and none. And that's how the code is written. Let's keep going and see what else they have for us. So this next set of code, import, it only calls out button 1 and 2. And it's only setting up the green LED. But what it's going to do is the short delay, and if button 1 or button 2 is pressed, then it'll print button 1 or 2 pressed. And it will return green. Then it will sleep for 2 seconds and will turn the LED off. So let's go ahead and skip that one. We kind of get what it'll do. Let's look at this activity 5, toggling with buttons. So again, it's all the same. We're just doing one button and we're doing red. And this is a while true. So it's a forever loop. So it sets up the LEDs, sleeps for a second while it's true, or at the beginning of the loop. And then if button 1 is pressed, it'll print button 1 pressed and toggle red off. So let's see how that looks. We'll run it. Oh, I need to stop the other. That's where I keep messing up. So we'll run this new code. So if 1 is pressed, it toggles yellow and it says button 1 pressed. So yeah, that is day 3 that it taught us. Let me put something together real quick and we will see what's going on. Okay, I just did a simple code because I think there should have been one in this that was just, press one button, one light comes on, press the next button, another light comes on, press the third button, another light comes on. So we're just looking at the while statement, and what I did was while true, so it's a forever loop, that sleep timer. If button 1 is pressed, turn on green. If button 2 is pressed, turn on amber. If button 3 is pressed, turn on red. Else if, turn all off. But I found something interesting in playing around with this. So I wanted to see if I could press 2 buttons and 2 colors come on. And it's interesting. If I start with button 1 and then add something else, it doesn't turn on. Oh, that time it did. But if I start with something higher, I can turn the one underneath it on. And then even if I release button 1, that will stay on. And it's the same thing with red. I can press amber, the middle button 2, and press button 3, and red won't come on. But if I press button 1, green will come on. And the same if I start with red, I can press amber and green, or green and then amber. But if you start with 1, you can't turn anything else on. So that's something to look into when debugging code is, going through and trying different things to cause it to do different things. But there was a good example of adding buttons. We're getting more complex in this code. It's a lot of learning. I really like the way it goes through and describes everything. I actually haven't read this full section that well. I just have a decent understanding of it. So I'm actually going to go back and read it all now, so I have an even better understanding of what exactly is going on. Just like yesterday, if you have this kit or you're following along in any way, let me know what code you came up with just using the buttons and the LEDs. We will continue on with this tomorrow. Again, like the video, subscribe to my channel. We'll see you tomorrow.